Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Evans. I'm a science-based intuitive eating specialist, helping you stop food fear, food guilt, and self-sabotage so you can eat effortlessly and feel amazing. Now, it is morning here. I have my hair up in my clip. I'm ready to go. Let's talk about a morning routine for ED recovery. Now, this is coming from myself as someone who struggled with an eating disorder for well over 10 years. And this is the type of morning routine that I wish I would have had available to me at the time that I've created over the years, and now I share with my clients because it quite simply works. Now, before I dig into what exactly that looks like, I want you to please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. If you like this type of content, I'm posting weekly videos for you so you can get all this types of information and tools and resources. But with that said, all of this is only scratching the surface. It's really just the tip of the iceberg. If you really want that support, if you really want that accountability, more tools, more information, really those things that are going to allow you to have a transformation in your recovery, then I invite you to use the link below in the description to book a free consult call. We can talk about if my programs are the right fit for you. With that said, let's dig into it. So the first thing is I want you to only be trying this routine maybe once or twice a week and then slowly increasing. Don't do that eating disorder tendency that we tend to do, which is that perfectionism, all or nothing. Now I'm doing this every single morning. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. And then we get morning one, maybe morning two, and then we don't do it anymore, right? We skip day three. Then we tell ourselves, oh, I skipped day three. So what's the point, right? I've missed that one. And, I might as well just kind of give up for the next however many months, right? But could you imagine if you forgot to brush your teeth one night because you fell asleep and you said to yourself, oh, I ruined my streak of brushing my teeth. I shouldn't do it again. No, that's silly. You just do it again the next time, right? So with habits, with these type of things, it takes time to slowly build up when it's a new habit. And we don't just give up on a habit because we've missed it once. You're human. You're not perfect. This is a part of the process, right? So only start doing this once, maybe twice a week. When you get consistent with that, we're going to start to increase it. Now, once or twice a week is going to feel like, what's the point? But the point is that we're building that confidence in ourselves to show up for ourselves in these little mini ways, and that's going to compound over time. So start small and build if you want consistency. If you want to go hard, right? If you're trying to do it all at once, go for it, right? What I always say is that extreme approaches lead to extreme disappointment. So just bear that in mind. So the first thing in the morning, the first thing you do when you get up, usually maybe you're going to the bathroom. Normally, what you might do is do a mirror check. If you're anything like me, I was checking to see what my stomach looked like, what my arms looked like. I was checking to see, just kind of do this little this little check-in of how I was doing. So I knew how I could feel about myself that day, especially as well stepping on the scale. If the number went up, the number went down, right? That would really dictate how I felt about myself, my confidence, if I'd even make eye contact with people that day. It really told the entire story from me just walking to the bathroom in the morning, how it's going to feel about myself the rest of that day. So for your new morning routine, for your ED recovery, you are not mirror checking. We are not lifting up our shirt to check our stomach. We are not looking at our arms to see how they're looking. We're not doing that thing where we pick ourselves apart. We're not stepping on the scale either, right? So that's part one. In the morning, we are not doing any of those things. The second thing, coffee. Maybe you're going to go have some coffee. It is not a meal, right? We have to have breakfast. And I encourage people in recovery to be eating at least every 3.5 hours. Just want to also just mention here, these first two things that I'm saying is kind of the preamble to the rest of the routine, but I want to make sure that we're covering our bases so you don't get into the rest of the routine without having done what is super important to kind of lay the groundwork, the foundation for a successful morning routine. So no mirror checking, no body checking, right? No stepping on the scale. And remembering that coffee, although delicious, right, is not a meal, right? So making sure that we're having breakfast and, depending on the situation, but I usually like to advise that you're eating every 3.5 hours. And there's a multitude of reasons for this. I talk about in other videos as well. But essentially, a lot of the time in recovery, now it also depends on what you're recovering from, but there is some level of restriction going on. And a lot of the time as well, there's some level of binging, and not always, depends on what you're struggling with. But for example, you're struggling with binge eating or bulimia, there's usually a sense of restriction throughout the day, and then this kind of compensation effect in the evening to make up for the lack of calories, aka energy, that your body needs for survival. So what we want to be doing instead, right? We're having breakfast. We're maybe setting a silent alarm on our phone to go off every 3.5 hours to remind ourselves to eat. So we can train our brain that food is coming, food is available. There's not a scarcity, which means you don't have to binge in order to try to compensate and make up for it. We're starting to build more of a relationship with our body, a more positive one, where we're treating it with love and care and respect instead of punishment and judgment, which doing it that way, right, the judgment, punishment, shaming, that's going to give us the behaviors we don't want. What I always say is that negative kind of self-talk, those negative kind of shaming ourselves, beating ourselves up, that leads to negative actions. The positive self-talk, the positive kind of way of thinking about situations, that's going to lead to positive actions, right? So with that said, with this morning routine that we're really kind of digging into now, it's broken down into 3 parts. Now, I'm going to walk you through this, but because I have, for example, I don't even know, 50 different journal prompts, I'm not going to go through every single journal prompt. But if you want the PDF version of this, my website is currently not up. So just send me a message on Instagram, add me there, and then send me a message. It's at Victoria Evans Official. Officials OFFICIAL. So I'll put that below as well. But just send me a message there, send me a DM, and I'll just send you the PDF link there because I currently don't have my website up for you to grab it there. So with that said, your morning routine that I've created has been broken down into 3 parts. So part 1 and part 3 have a couple different options to choose from, almost like a little menu. We can see how we feel that day. It doesn't have to be exactly, oh, we're doing this every single morning, because we're different. And if you are someone who has a period, if you are menstruating, right, then you're someone who's going to have hormonal fluctuations over that 28-day cycle, completely different. So what we're wanting to do each day, also how tired we are, our emotional state, our stress levels, it's going to vary each day. So having a morning routine that can kind of reflect where we're at. So with that said, part 1 and 3 have different options. You're going to select just one of them within those each day. And each day you can kind of change it up. Now, part 1 is brain connection. If you know anything about me and my style of coaching and my way of working, I really love to focus on the science. I find education empowerment once we learn how to work with our body and not against it. So the first part of this morning routine is brain connection. As I mentioned, there's a couple different options you can choose from within this first part. So get a journal, get a pen, and then we're going to pick between one of the 3 options here that I'm going to explain to you. Now, this is feeling a bit confusing. Then again, like I said, just send me a message on Instagram, add me there, and I will just send you the PDF in the DMs. So option 1 is a brain dump. So if you feel like you have to offload something, what is on your mind? So basically do a brain dump. It's basically like a stream of consciousness. Put paper to pen, just see anything that comes up. Sometimes I like to set a timer for myself so it doesn't feel as big and kind of expansive and maybe overwhelming. So setting a timer on my phone for 2 minutes, challenging myself to write until the timer goes off and just seeing what comes up. So option 1 of this morning routine is a brain dump. Option 2 is what I call 5 QAM, so 5 questions in the morning. And these questions are inspired by the work of Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. If I mispronounce that, I apologize. So the first question, this is really good if you're struggling with anxiety or stress. So the first question of this second option is something I am worried about today is, and then you fill in the blank. Something I can do to prepare about it is blank. A reason why it won't be as bad as I think it is going to be is blank. A reason I know I can probably handle it is blank. Something positive or an upside about the situation is blank. So that's a good option for you as this first part of the morning routine if you're feeling a bit more anxious and maybe stressed. Now, option 3 of part 1 is journal prompts. I'm going to read a couple for you, but like I said, I have so many in this free guide. So just send me a message over on Instagram and I'll send it to you so you can have them all laid out for you in front of you instead of me reading it to you, but I'll read you a couple. So the first one is, what is going on for me right now is blank. 3 things I value about myself are blank. Something I need to let go of is blank. I was proud of myself for blank. Something I wish others knew about me is blank. Now, I just read the first couple there that I saw, but like I said, I have a whole bunch more, so if you want to get the free guide, just let me know. Now, another thing I like to do is explain why that works. I like the science, as I mentioned, so brain connection, why that is the first part of this morning routine, is essentially that journaling removes any kind of mental blocks and actually allows you to use really all of your brain power so you can better understand yourself and the world. So our left brain is analytical and our right brain is a little bit more creative and feeling. So when we're writing, we're actually accessing the left side of our brain. And when our left side of our brain is kind of busy writing, it actually gives the right side of our brain the opportunity to really create and process and feel. So essentially, we're able to access a part of our brain that we're not normally able to in different types of situations and scenarios. So that's one of the reasons why I love it. For part 1 is brain connection. Part 2 is brain priming and rewiring. So essentially, what I want you to do is repeat after me. But again, in this guide where it's all written down, you'll just say this to yourself, okay? I am safe. I am supported. I am loved. Then deep breath in the nose. Feel the low belly and big exhale through the mouth, letting it all go. May I be kind to myself. May I give myself the compassion I need. May I learn to accept myself as I am. May I forgive myself. May I learn to love myself. With each breath, I am becoming calmer. I am slowing down and tuning in to how I feel. So the next part, you're going to say 5 emotions that you're feeling. I am allowing, and then say 5 emotions. I am learning to listen to my body. I am learning to honor my body. I am proud of myself for taking small action steps towards my goals. I am allowing myself to rest and recharge. I am doing the best I can, and that is enough. Deep breath in the nose. Fill that low belly, and then big exhale out through the mouth, letting everything go. My intention for today is fill in the blank. I am grateful for, say 3 things. Amazing. Now, if I'm going a little bit too fast for you at any point, just hit the pause button and go back. I know you might want to have a bit more time to think about things. So if that's the case, like I said, there's no, time limit on this. So just take however much time you need. Now, why this works, why this kind of brain priming works, is the first thing is that these affirmations, these intentions are really planting into our subconscious how we want to feel. Whatever we say is almost like a mini instruction manual. What I always like to say with clients is that whatever we say becomes a blueprint. And so essentially, right, when we're creating this kind of mini instruction manual with our affirmations and what we're saying, we're priming our brain to seek out supporting evidence. So what we say matters because it creates the matter in our brain, right? The gray matter in our brain. The second thing is that allowing emotions, right? Saying I am allowing, and then you say 5 emotions like we just did, creates that space for emotional processing and awareness of how we're feeling. So we need to name the emotion to feel it, and we have to feel it in order to heal it and move through it. The final thing, right, is listing what we're grateful for. And this really creates that abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. One that when we're in eating disorder recovery, we are often in that scarcity, not enough. We can't eat this. It's kind of very keep yourself small in every sense of the word mindset versus abundance. And gratitude is focusing on what we have, not what we don't have. So when we're focusing on that and right, saying what we're grateful for, it allows us to shift into a place where we feel happier and more connected to ourselves and our life. Now, with that said, don't slap gratitude stickers onto things that you don't truly feel grateful for, right? So don't do things that feel too stretchy, too far away from what you actually feel. So even if it's just a small thing, right? Like I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that the sky is blue. It can be any of those things, right? It doesn't have to be these big dramatic things, but trying to pick something, really start to build up that part of your brain almost like a muscle. So part 3 of this eating disorder morning routine is brain training. So part 1 was brain connection. Part 2 was brain priming and rewiring. And part 3 is brain training. So again, same thing I said at the beginning of the video and what we also did for part 1. There's going to be a few different options for you to choose from, kind of like a little bit of a menu right? You can kind of decide, select one each morning. You can change it up different mornings. You can do more than one if you want, right? But again, start small, try doing each of these for just a few minutes, and then we're gradually increasing over time. So option 1 is box breathing, right? So really getting our brain kind of set up for the day. So that is breathing in through your nose for the count of 4, holding that breath for the count of 4, right? Exhaling that mouth for the count of 4, and then holding that breath for the count of 4. Hard to do it when I'm trying to think about it and say it out loud. Basically, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Repeating that at least 4 times. Do more if it feels good. Basically, that's going to really help to regulate your nervous system as you're moving into the day. The next types are different types of meditations. And again, this is kind of hard to explain unless I'm going to actually take you through it. So like I said, go to my Instagram, add me there, and then send me a DM, and I'll just send you the written out version of this so you can kind of take yourself through it. Another option is I call dancing queen, right? So put on some music, create some playlists for your morning, and dance a little bit. Move your body, have that kind of somatic therapy, right? Getting more connected with your body. If you've heard of the book by oh my gosh, I'm butchering his name. I'll have to put it in the show notes. But basically, he has a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And he talks about how your body really stores and holds on to trauma and pain and emotions, everything, right? And so we need to be able to let it out. So we can do all the conscious, cognitive stuff, right, in terms of moving forward in our recovery. We also have to pair it with the somatic, with our body and moving it. Let ourselves really kind of release a lot of the things that we've been kind of keeping stuck and building up over time. So movement and dancing could be a great way, almost like an active form of medication. Oh my gosh, active form of meditation, right? To mind you kind of connect to your body, and it can be really amazing. And it can be more slow or it could be more energized. So putting on some music and making some playlists depending on your mood to really kind of start the morning off that way. Another option for the morning is what I call feeling stretchy. So kind of getting into the flow of the day with some gentle and mindful stretching. So maybe that's setting a timer on your phone. Maybe it's only for 2 minutes, right? We're going to start small and then build. And just do a couple stretches, just seeing how your body feels, connecting to your body, focusing on your breath, focusing on how each stretch makes you feel. Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Does it feel tight? Just kind of taking that inventory, taking that awareness, and really connecting to your body. One thing I like to do for that is going onto YouTube and doing morning bed yoga. And even if it's only just a short video, I can just be in bed and do a couple gentle stretches to kind of start the day. Now for brain training, like I said, I have lots of things into this guide, so just send me a message. But basically why this works, so I want to train our brain. And I could really go into a novel about why meditation and mindfulness and body connection to your body is so important and life-changing. But I'll simply tell you that it reduces stress and anxiety, allows for more rational decision-making, increases emotional control, learning, memory, processing, well-being, focus, connectiveness, empathy, creativity. It boosts overall brain function and energy and a whole bunch of other things that I can't think of right now. But all that to say, that will really help set you up for a good day when you start to really kind of connect to yourself. And so those are the 3 main parts that I have of your morning routine. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you found this useful. If you'd like me to do these kind of more practical, kind of walking you through types of videos, please let me know that you liked it in the comments, and I will do so. And also comment what type of video you'd like to see next in that regard. Also hit the subscribe button so I know that you're enjoying this content. I'm dropping new videos every single week, and I'd absolutely love your support. So with that said, it is morning. I've had my breakfast, so now I'm having some coffee, and I've done my morning routine, and now I'm here talking to you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, whether it be morning or another time of the day. But until next week, talk soon.